Jamila, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm doing my January wrap-up slash recent reads because I was looking back and I realized I have not done a wrap-up or recent reads in forever. So let's just go into these books. I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet for ones I may have kind of talked about in past videos. So the first book I have here is Love Her, Lose Her by Tessa Bailey. This is a romance book. It's about Rosie and Dominique Vega. They are high school sweethearts. They've been together forever, and Rosie starts to realize that her marriage just has lost the affection factor, the love factor. It has issues. She decides that she's going to leave her husband because he's not changing. He's very comfortable just being who he is and I guess not addressing her concerns. So it's a second chance romance. They split up and he's trying to win her back, etc, etc. For me, this book was a 2.75 stars. It wasn't necessarily that the book was horribly written, but there were some things that just really didn't work for me. First of all, being Dominic, he annoyed me so much. He was just too possessive, too persistent. I don't know, like, I don't know if that's possible, but this book kind of like, ugh. It just, ugh. I didn't like it. I like the idea of like a married couple trying to rekindle their affection and romance and all that stuff, but it just wasn't done in a way that worked for me. There's that, and also I think he kept calling her honey girl or something like that. Yeah, he kept calling her honey girl, and I was just like, ew, why? No, I don't like this. This is not cute. This is not sexy. This is not it. And it just did not work for me. So that is why this got a 2.75 stars. I'm going to try another one of Tessa Bailey's books, but this one just did not hit the mark. Next up, we have the, I don't know, a famed whatever. We have the Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. So this book follows Achilles and Patroclus, and Achilles is considered like the best of all Greeks, and Patroclus is an awkward young prince, and they kind of end up coming together on their life journey, and there's this whole tragic love story and all that. I feel like that's like it. That's all I can really say about this one, but it's like a Greek mythology type of retelling situation. So this one I gave a whopping 3.75/4 star, and the reason was because the writing sucked me in. What would have made this a book that I loved is just if I don't know, if I connected more with the romance. I didn't. It just wasn't really working for me in the romance department, and also because I felt like so much was avoidable as far as like the tragedy aspect of the book, and I felt like one of the characters was very selfish in their choices, and it just kind of ruined it. But Madeline Miller, just the writing is so good. It's just I need a romance that matches up well with that. The ending was very interesting. I did find the ending intriguing. But yeah, this was just a very weird experience. To like the writing so much but to not love the actual story and the actual romance plot of the book really is weird. But I know everyone loves this. Don't fillet me like a fish. So next we have Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This one follows Macy and Elliot, and they are childhood best friends who end up going from friends to lovers to not being associated with each other at all for many years. And this book kind of has a kind of alternate timeline, so when they're younger and when they're older, and leading up to what actually happened between them and why they're no longer speaking or in each other's lives. And this one I gave 5 stars because first of all, this made me sad, but it also warmed my heart. Just their love for each other and their love for literature, I felt it. And the sweet little like favorite word thing they would do is just so darn cute. I just really enjoyed this way more than I expected to. I got this book on a whim and I ended up really liking it. So I recommend this one if you're looking for a romance that kind of makes you wonder, like, are they meant for each other? Are they soulmates or not? Like, I don't know. If you're looking for that, that's here. Next we have Thorn by Intisar Kanani. This one is a Goose Girl retelling. So this book follows a princess named Alira and a prince named Kestrin. Alira lives in a smaller kingdom and she ends up getting an offer to marry a prince from a bigger kingdom. So they end up being put together to be married, and it's very confusing because why would this prince of this big kingdom want to marry her from this little nowhere kingdom? And so the offer is on the table and she goes and she travels to Kestrin's kingdom, but on the way there she is cursed, and this curse causes her to switch places with a noble girl who really hates her. So she switches places and she ends up like, hey, I don't have to do the court life anymore. Like, I kind of like this. Like, this is great. And so she says, F that kingdom, and yeah, I'm gonna just go live my goose girl life. And then she comes to the realization that her people deserve better than that. So she's trying to fight the power. And it's very much a lovely story. I did enjoy it a lot more than I thought I would. I ended up giving Thorn 3.75 stars. It was very enjoyable and well written in my opinion, and I actually can't wait to read the second book, Theft of Sunlight. So I recommend it. I do think that it's above average. I'll say it's above average. It's not my favorite, but it was so enjoyable to read. So check it out. For the next two we have here are books 2 and 3 in the City of Brass series. So we have the Kingdom of Copper and the Empire of Gold, and these books hit different. First of all, this one was really good, but this one, oh my goodness, I loved Empire of Gold so freaking much, you guys. Like, I am obsessed. And you like look at all the tabs, okay? And this book is like 763 pages. This book is long, and I didn't even feel like it was long, so that should show you how much I enjoyed it. But I gave both of these 5 out of 5 stars, even though I kind of feel like I would give this one 6 stars because I just loved it that much. But the whole series for me is 5 out of 5 stars. It's like highly recommended. This is my brand. You guys need to read it if you haven't already. In the first book there may be a little bit of a learning curve if you're not used to some of the like terms and stuff, but if you can read, you know, Brando Sendo and all these like other authors, you can give this series a shot and learn the world building. It is so worth it. And you know, I've heard some people say that they found it a bit confusing, but it just takes time to learn the terms and the politics, and it's just so good. Like, you guys, this is one of my favorite, if not my favorite series of all time now. I don't know, but I just know that I love it so much. The City of Brass follows this woman named Nahri, and she is a con artist, a con woman, snatcher of the coins, snatcher of the bags. No, but she doesn't believe in magic. She kind of does like what she calls a little razzle dazzle, kind of like fake magic, but it ends up getting her in trouble because she ends up dabbling in some real magic, and she summons a djinn named Dara, and he's like ancient warrior dude, and that just opens up a can of worms she didn't want to get into. But it's just like this whole amazing story, and it goes into this whole amazing other world, and it's perfect. It's perfect. We love it here. Read these, okay? So moving on, we have Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. This book I gave, I gave this book a whopping 2 stars. In case you didn't know what this one about, this is the second book in the Brown Sisters trilogy, and this one's about Danica Brown and Zafir Ansari. Zafir is a rugby player, but he's not really living as one in the present, and Danica is and I think she's a professor. So they end up having a fake relationship because it benefits Zephyr's nonprofit, and they're kind of like friends who are denying that they like each other and all that stuff. Terrible description, but I don't want to spend too much time on this. I did not enjoy this book. I felt like I was reading it to get to the end, which is very unfortunate because I thought I would like it more. However, I did not know that the main male love interest was going to be Muslim, and I do feel like, honestly, you guys, it probably wouldn't bother most of you reading this book, but it bothered me so much because nothing about him was Muslim. Granted, Talia Hibbert did say in the book that he is not a practicing Muslim, which is fine, but I didn't really understand the point of having a Muslim representation that no research was done into. Like, I feel like Zephyr had so much potential to be the cinnamon roll shy Muslim guy who loves romance novels. I just feel like that had so much potential, but then it was ruined. It was ruined. Like, it was such a good idea, Talia. It was such a good idea, and then nothing about him was Muslim. It didn't go well with me. It didn't mesh well with me. I did not like it, and it really hindered my enjoyment of the book. Like I said, a lot of you guys probably would not care and would probably still enjoy this book. It just was not for me in that case. And it was so weird because, like, Danny is like, I don't know, I guess she's like a witch. She considers herself a witch, and she worships like Oshun, but it was just so funny to me that she like worships this whole other something, and she just, the whole book, she's like, Jesus Christ, Jesus, and I'm like, do you believe in Jesus, or like, what do you believe? But it was a trip, I'll tell you that. But unfortunately, I just did not enjoy this one. It's so pretty though. All right, so moving on to the next book, we have Sleigh by Brittany Morris. This book actually ended up being a huge surprise for me, but it's about a girl named Kiara, and she ends up making a video game for Black people to seek refuge in and escape into, and it's exclusively for Black people so that they can have a safe and happy gaming world, and it's where she escapes to, but no one knows that she has created this game. And so her game kind of ends up garnering a lot of attention, and it's negative attention because something bad happens in relation to her game, and it causes it to garner media attention towards her game, saying that she's racist for only allowing Black people to play it and everyone should be able to play it, and etc, etc. And so there is also someone in the game who's threatening her and trying to harass her players and take over the game, and it's pretty much her fighting back in real life and in the game. So this one actually ended up being so good. I enjoyed it so much. I gave it 4 stars. This one had so many beautiful descriptions of the video game to the point where it made this contemporary book feel partially like a fantasy. I thought that the world that Kiara created and the details of the video game that she made was just so perfect, so fun to be a part of and experience. Like, I really felt like I was transported into this video game, and I felt how much this game meant to her. And I just also love the representation of a Black girl in tech, in IT, learning to program, creating her own game. I love that that was put in this book for young girls who are going into STEM and learning to program and all of those things. I think that's amazing, and it's like the type of representation that we really truly need. So yeah, this book was great. I recommend it. I know people have complained in the past about too many pop culture references and such, but I feel like in this scenario it fit, and she's in high school. Like, what do you expect? But yeah, so this one was good. Next we have Intercepted, which I gave 3.75 stars. So I actually really enjoyed this one. This one's about Marley Harper, and she's like the perfect girlfriend to this NFL star for the last 10 years. And they've been together for 10 whole years, and he still has not popped the question and asked her to marry him. And she gets a lot of flack for it because she's still a girlfriend and she's hanging around the NFL wives club, and they look down on her because she's not a wife yet. So she discovers her NFL boyfriend has been tackling other women on the side, and they end up having a very messy breakup, which leads her into the arms and interests of another football player who she's swearing up and down, I'm not gonna get with a football player, but lies. Anyways, they end up kind of rekindling something, that a little fling they had in past. And yeah, I actually really enjoyed this. It was just what I needed. Simple, easy football romance, sports romance, and I found it very enjoyable. I definitely will be picking up more Alexa Martin books. I recommend it if you're looking for a sports romance specifically. We have Aisha at Last by Uzma Jalaluddin. This one is a modern day Muslim Pride and Prejudice retelling. This one follows Aisha and Khalid. Aisha is a school teacher and she's feeling out of luck because she's not getting marriage proposals, and her cousin Hafsa is getting all the proposals, and she's just kind of like playing around with it, acting like it's not a big deal. But still, Aisha supports her until the guy she kind of likes ends up being engaged to her cousin. So it is a Muslim romance, and it was just perfect for me. 5 out of 5 stars. There were some flaws in it, very minor, but almost didn't make the 5-star. But then I was like, no, it is 5 stars for me because I just absolutely enjoyed this book so much. Like the representation, how infuriating, but like I was still rooting for them. The couple made me feel like it was just there. It was it. I definitely enjoyed it. I would say though, when you go into this book, keep an open mind, because I feel like Khalid is a complex character. He's infuriating in some ways, he's hypocritical in some ways, but the thing that matters is that he learns better, and that's what saved him for me. But I feel like a lot of people would go into this and read it and automatically judge and dislike him because of some of the stuff he says and stuff like that. But just think of it like I'm sure there's plenty of books where y'all read a guy that's just, he's so infuriating, but he's just, you still root for him. I don't know, but I appreciated seeing a Muslim man be religious for once, and I also appreciate that he learned that Islam isn't about being extreme in anything you do, and I appreciated that. You rarely see a religious, modest Muslim guy being represented in anything. So it was so nice and refreshing to read about, and I loved it. And I loved all the conflict in here and just the drama. It gave the drama. If you're looking for the drama, it is here. But this is also a very, like, it's adult, but you're not gonna get a bunch of spice. I think this is adult. Is this adult? Yeah, there's that. But I just absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to read her second book. That's gonna be great for me. Love this one. I do recommend it very much. I would say light enemies to lovers. So next we have Falling by TJ Newman. This is a thriller book. It is about a pilot named Bill, I believe. So to make it easy, I'm gonna just read this, what it says. But you just boarded a flight to New York. There are 143 other passengers on board. What you don't know is that 30 minutes before the flight, your pilot's family was kidnapped. For his family to live, everyone on your plane must die. The only way the family will survive is if the pilot follows his orders and crashes his plane. Enjoy the flight. So that's what this is about, and I actually gave this one 3 stars. So while it was entertaining reading it, it did not give me anything special. It did not like, I wasn't like gasping in my seat, you know. Like, it was entertaining, but I felt like I've watched a lot of movies with the same concept that did it better, and it was just okay. Like, it was entertaining and it passed the time in the moment I was reading it. Would I recommend it? If the synopsis sounds interesting to you, yes, read it. It's an entertaining read. It just wasn't a favorite for me, and it wasn't above average for me. So next I have Act Your Age, Eve Brown. You guys, this is a 5 out of 5 stars. This book follows Eve Brown, who is the youngest of the Brown sisters, and she does not know what to do with her life, what career to go to. She's pretty much a trust fund baby. Like, her parents take care of her, and they've just gotten sick of her shenanigans and constantly leaving jobs and messing things up, and they've told her, like, you have a year to get it together and prove you can do things on your own, and if you can, then we'll bring back your funds. But for that time, they're taking her money away, and she's not gonna have any parental help. And this is like her trying to stand on her 2 feet, but she ends up going to this bed and breakfast for an interview at random and getting the job as a chef there, and she meets the cranky owner of the bed and breakfast, Jacob. I love this book so much. This is one of my favorite romances, if not my favorite romance. Like, I don't know, I just really love this and Aisha at Last. Like, I really loved it. This just gave me all the butterflies. I adored this. It worked so much better than the second book, and I actually realized that I like this one more than Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I think I really did love Chloe Brown. I might have to go back and read it, but this took the cake for me 100%. Absolutely perfect. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I definitely recommend this one. Eve was just so relatable, because I've been there where, even now, honestly, I'm 25. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Let's not pretend. I don't have a trust fund, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and that was just so relatable here. And just like that feeling of not feeling like you're enough or you have any talent or anything like that. Like, she just really portrayed that feeling very well. Talia Hibbert did in this book, and I related to Eve. I feel like I'm a mixture of Eve and Chloe. Danny, we didn't connect, but the first and third book in the series, perfection. Highly recommend this one so much. Just thinking about them makes me want to reread this right now. All right, my book stack is about to fall over. So the next book is An American Marriage by Tayari Jones. Okay, let's talk about this one, honey, because I had feelings. This book follows Celestial and Roy. They are a newlywed couple. They are figuring out their relationship and just kind of getting into the thick of marriage when Roy ends up being put in prison for a crime he did not commit. And it just, of course, like, imagine you're 1 year into your marriage and your husband gets arrested. It's not fun. What are you supposed to do? Do you stick beside him, or do you say, I got a life to live and I can't be shackled? But anyways, so this book travels their relationship. It travels their relationship over the span of time that he is in prison and when he gets out, and just what that looks like for them. Choices were made, things were done. I will say that this book, I'm torn between a 3.75 stars and a 4 stars, because Miss Jones, she had me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was very intrigued by this book. I was very intrigued with what the heck was gonna happen. Like, it was a ride for me, and the writing was very good in my opinion until we got to the end. The end, I did not understand. I did not understand the choices that were made. But I still recommend this book. I thought it was very good. It's just that ending got me tight. It got me confused. I don't know how I feel about it. That's why I'm torn between 3.75 and a 4. So I'd say if you want to read it, I definitely recommend reading it. It was very interesting to see that dynamic of a husband and wife separated by prison bars, you know what I mean? So the next book I have here is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. You guys. I knew I was gonna love this book. I gave it 4 stars. So this book follows Celine, and she has escaped to New Orleans from over the sea, France. She escaped to New Orleans. She's just trying to, you know, live her new life to get away from a dark past, a dark secret that happened over the ocean. She's like, America, here I come. Little does she know, New Orleans has some dark, creepy secrets crawling around, and she better watch her neck because this book has vampires in it. Now you have to know going into this book that you're not gonna get overt, very in your face vampires. This is very subtle. This is from the human perspective that doesn't know anything about this world of magic, supernatural creatures and such. So you're getting that type of perspective. It's just very subtle, very beautiful. Renee has an amazing way of creating such a vibrant atmosphere, a vibrant world in my head. Like, I can smell it, I could see it, I could feel it. It was just so delightful to read, and I just enjoyed it so much. Like, I should have known I was going to enjoy this as much as I did because I am obsessed with The Wrath and the Dawn. The Wrath and the Dawn and The Rose and the Dagger. If you have not read The Wrath and the Dawn, at least you need to read that one because I adore that book. But I'm so ready to dive into the second book, The Damned, like perfection. Read this, it's good. If you're okay with it not being like super vampire-y, and it has like a murder mystery aspect. I don't even think I got into that part. There is a murder mystery and it's fun. Try it. Don't try it. Try it. You should try it. All right, so that is all the books that I completed and I don't think I talked about. There may have been more, but I'm not 100% sure. I just kind of threw this over here. The last book I want to talk about that I did not finish though is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I ended up getting 236 pages into The Way of Kings and I am absolutely loving it so far, but I decided, like a dum-dum after reading that much of it, that you guys are probably right. I keep getting comments telling me, Jamila, don't read them like that. Like, read Mistborn or Warbreaker first and then go into this, because I guess there's like references and such things if you read them in that order that you'll understand better, and to get to know the Cosmere, I think it's called. You guys warned me and I don't want to be a dummy and ruin my experience, but yeah. I'll be slowly still making my way through this one, but I'm gonna try to start Mistborn at least because I do have that book. But yes, so far Kaladin intrigues me, and I forgot her name, the little, I don't know, sprite spirit fairy thing. I am intrigued. I definitely want to finish this one this year, but I am gonna try to read some of his other work first or in tandem with this to get hopefully a better experience, a more authentic experience. But yeah guys, that's how far I ended up getting in this, because I know a lot of you guys were like, good luck with that one. I think I could have almost finished it if I had continued reading it, but it's okay, no biggie. I'm just weird and I'm doing this very weirdly. I cannot wait to continue this and finish it because so far so good. I am a little bit confused about 1 or 2 things, but we're not gonna get into that in this video. But yeah, that's the last one. So we just talked about 14 books, and this is probably gonna be a long video, so I am sorry. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me towards the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, give me a moon emoji in the comments if you made it this far, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.